One of our gCADPlus users in Melbourne has developed this very nice symbol for a hydrangea, a blue form, and he's a little concerned about if we go file and file size. Notice that it's 427 kilobytes. We try and make our symbols 15, 20, 30 kilobytes. So this is really much bigger than we need. And let's have a look at the reason for it. If we click on the leaf, it's a hatch that's a solid. We probably don't need that. It's color 77. If we hatches take up quite a lot of space, so let's delete the hatch, remembering that the outer area of the polyline should be color 77 and that we should fill it, and it should have a border, and let's make the border color a dark color. Let's click away, unselect all, so that looks the same, but I am confident that it will take less space. Match properties, pick up the properties of this one and pick that one. That's better. Pick that again and that again. But let's save and check our file size again. We're down to 65, so we've dropped from 400 odd to 65. So the lesson there is using a hatch to fill is nowhere near as effective in terms of file size space than just drawing a shape with a polyline. This is a very nice symbol and really quite complex, and it's complex because all those flowers are made up of a single block called flower head, which is just being repeated. Let's go back to view. Just always check what's it going to look like on a background. Let's zoom on a little. I think we should be relatively happy with that, but I'd add one word of warning. It would be better to go to the blocks there. Here's our, it's called flower head. Now, if you use the term flower head as a block in some other species, there could well be a clash. So I think it would be better to rename that and call it Hydrangea flower head. And in that way, let's keep our naming convention consistent, flower, and then uppercase head, like so. Easy to read, no spaces to confuse the issue, because if you leave a space in a name between hydrangea and flower, it'll be a different block to one called this one, hydrangea, no spaces, flower head. So it doesn't matter, but best to be consistent. So if we OK that and close, now we have, let's zoom extents. I think the next thing to check would be, let's start a line at 0, 0, and that's well down here. So better to move this symbol to 0, 0 and zoom extents. So now we can get rid of that block. We'd be confident that if we close and save the drawing, close, open it again, we'd be reasonably confident that if we go here to the blocks, we can now delete it, and we can't. Why is that? I think we still need to do a purge. Let's try. No. So the name hydrangea flower head is, of course, it's still in the drawing, isn't it? So a purge is not going to affect it. So let's check file size. I took you down the wrong direction then. 65 kilobytes. So for a reasonably complex drawing, I think that's quite reasonable. We've got here a single polyline just with a fill. I'm just checking that there are no more solid fills. And a quick way to do that is to grab everything and just have a look. In here, there are 4 blocks, that's correct, and 12 polylines, and it's 65K in size. So we've made we've taken a symbol developed by our user in Melbourne and just made it a lot smaller and a little more efficient, and then we won't be any clashes in future drawings when we use it, even though there's a block inside a block. So it's certainly an efficient way of saving space. And I like our users' use of that flower head, hydrangea flower head, in there to save space. So let's zoom extents and save it. And so when we bring it in, this symbol will be anchored in the middle, and any quick look at it from the block editor will show it on a white background. So I'm very impressed with that. Well, because our user has made a block of that central bit, it's very easy to change it, make a new symbol, and just set, we want to make a pink form of the hydrangea, the one that flowers on an alkaline soil versus the blue one on an acid soil. And all we need to do is just select some sort of pinkish, darkish colour. And OK it. And then use match properties again, matching it as we move around in here. And we'll close, see what that looks like. And I'm fairly happy with that as a new symbol. So that was very quick and very easy.